Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who would tick other and specify, I, Lord Hodgson, do declare that flannelette season is now open. Fun fact, I actually own 10 square feet of land in Scotland, so technically I am allowed. So, last weekend and the weekend before it's been kind of rough weather, so I haven't really been doing much filming or shooting. But I did get time to do some watching, and I watched Matt Dubber's excellent video on the latest one in the Ballistics 101 series, and it sort of occurred to me that perhaps heavy ballistic coefficient isn't everything when it comes to pellets, especially when I'm doing what I'm doing. So I decided that I would try some lighter pellets, and it turned out that my dad had a bunch, like a whole brick of King 25s, these bad boys from when he was shooting 25s on his original smooth twist 600mm barrel out of his impact, and they performed great. They've performed great for me as well in the past, but I just haven't used them much. So I bought a bunch of 30 cal to hand off to him in a trade for his big pile of 25s. So I have like 5 tins of JSB King 25s to play with for the extended future. Should last me quite a while, but that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be experimenting with traditional Diablo shaped pellets at low power, nice low power quiet speeds. During the foul weather last week, I took that opportunity to do all the inside work, so I tuned the gun right down. I've never really done a dedicated low power tune, I suppose, from the standpoint of the regulator. So I dropped the reg as far as I dared. I dropped it all the way down to 80 bar, because the previous time I'd shot, I had it up around 150 because I was doing some speedy high powered stuff and I couldn't be bothered doing a fine tune, so I just did a brute force tune on that one. But now it's all the way down on 80, and even with the minimum amount of hammer spring, so the hammer spring wheel is set to minimum, and the actual hammer spring inside the mounting block that holds the hammer spring adjustment screw, that's mounted flush with the block. And because of the size of the plenum and how low the pressure is, it's very easy to open that with minimum amount of hammer spring. So even with that set as low as I could possibly get it, I was still shooting these little King 25s, being that they're a nice light projectile. They were still ripping along at like 880 feet per second with everything minimumed out as opposed to maxed out, which is super fun. So I had to tighten up the valve, bring the valve right in until I got the speed that I wanted, and now they are sitting between 750 and 760, maybe 765. I think it was an extreme spread of about 12. We'll put it here. But nice consistent tune, and still fairly nippy. It's a little bit quicker and a little bit louder than the typical 700 feet per second tune that I do for my super low powered quiet stuff, but should be good. Be interesting to run those two loads side by side and sort of examine the drop. I'll do a little comparison, side by side comparison here with the Strelok Pro with both loads next to each other, so we'll see how that goes. Anywho, the weather has cleared up and it is a glorious day, and I've been looking forward to plinking away and doing some target shooting for the last week and a half, so let's do it. Let's go to the range. Back on the 50 meter range again. So I've got a target set up down there at 25. Got some steel down there at 50, but I reckon we'll probably do some barrel tuning, just finding the harmonic sweet spot at 50 today. We may move over to the 100 meter range, not sure. It's a little breezy, but we might give it a go later on, pending time. But I got my table, I got my gun, I got my bag, I got my little car. I'm happy. I'm a happy chappy. Exquisite weather. Lovely time of year. Vive le temps d'hiver. So I reckon 25 meters just to warm things up, get back into the groove. 25 meters for 25 kings. Seems about right. Lots of new products for FX at the moment. Seems like the 25 slugs and superior liner have come out pretty much at the same time as the Wildcat Mark III. I don't know, what do you reckon about the Wildcat Mark III? Leave me a message in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's, well, personally, I think the upgrade of the adjustable hammer spring and all the other valving upgrades and everything is very good, but I'm not so sure about the magazine. I think if I had my choice for something like the Wildcat, I would think that that small 8-round rotary magazine would have been enough. I mean, it's nice to have the high capacity, but it's also kind of nice to have that reliability of a smaller magazine. So, I don't know. What do you reckon? If your ideal Wildcat is the same as mine, let me know. A Mark III with the original magazine, I reckon that'd be the way to go. And if anybody has tried the 25 hybrid slugs and the Superior liner, let me know, because I'm looking to try them soon as well. With great interest and great enthusiasm. Down 0.3 for 20 meters. I have my zero set up so that I get like a nice long point blank range type of a trajectory. The first zero number 1 is at 15 meters, and then zero number 2 is at 32 meters, which is a nice sort of middle ground for a round like this at this kind of a speed. I think any further out than 50 meters and it's really not making much energy. Where are we? Foot-pounds all the way out to 50. It's making 23 foot-pounds. So not hugely powerful the further out it goes, but nice and flat for the time being, at least anyway. A little bit off on that one. Might be the reg warming up. I think it's a fair bit colder this weekend than it was when I tuned it last. Last one. There we go. Let's go and have a looky-loo. So the point of aim's a little bit high. Strelok might have been lying to me. I think I'm going to have to bust out the Kestrel and check the temperature. No real surprises there. One big hole at 25 meters. Fingertip. Probably tighten that up a little bit. I am a little bit rusty after not having shot for a little while. But good. Promising. I think I might hold the left-hand side of the square and see how that goes, because it is a little breezy and we are shooting pretty low power, low speed. So even at 25 meters we're getting blown sort of half a point of aim to the right. It's a little bit unsettling when they're all going through that same hole like that. You're sort of tempted to push it across to the next target and punch a couple of holes in there, but that was 14 rounds through the same hole, so cool. So the shot count with this particular tune is ridiculous. When I did the tune, I took the regulator all the way down and then took it over to my compressor and filled it all the way back up again. So full bottle with the 80 bar reg, and then went from where the valve was all the way down to where it is now, so I wound it in quite a bit. I did the complete tune, which took about 2 magazines, so like maybe 28 rounds I guess, and then I came down and did a little bit of practice shooting, just for the little bit of time that I had during the break in the weather, and put another couple of magazines through it, and it had only used 50 bar, so it's a very, very, very efficient tune. I reckon I could get, I don't know, probably, what do we got? 250 down to 80 and maybe like 4 magazines per 50 bar. So insanity. Lots and lots and lots of pellets. This is going to be a little bit more challenging in the wind. How are we looking for 50 meters? Up 1.5. Zoom in a bit. Blown around by the wind a lot. Very consistent elevation. Ooh, big gust. Well, there we go. Looks like we're ever so slightly more than an inch, 2 fingers for elevation, and then obviously getting blown around by the wind a lot. When the wind died down, we got this nice little patch over here where they were all landing quite nicely, but still a little bit off on the elevation. I might have to true that algorithm at this temperature and see how that goes, because I think the density of the air has changed quite a bit. We've had a mean cold front come in. It's wonderful campfire weather, but yeah, changed my results. Got to get it on camera, otherwise no one will believe me. Right, so definitely tightening up quite a bit down here at 50 meters. I didn't really read the wind super well on this one. I was aiming just on the left edge of this white bit and it landed all the way up here. So I sort of made the decision to bang them all out as quick as I could, and that ended up being quite tight. Plus this one up here, which I didn't see coming. So not a bad group, not a bad group. We're sort of looking at closer to half an inch at 50 meters now, as opposed to when I wasn't aiming off for the wind on these bigger 14 round groups. So yeah, happy days. So a quick rig rundown. We got the Schmidt & Bender PM2 5 to 25 by 56, absolute beast of a scope. We've got the vortex bubble on there just to make sure that I'm not doing anything silly. Ridiculously nice scope, but very heavy and very expensive. So not for everybody, not for everybody. FX Impact Mark II, 700mm barrel. I've got the slug liner in there with a few extra O-rings on there to give me a little bit more stability. Seems to be shooting these pretty good. External titanium power plenum from Vladan. Very nice piece of kit. It has given me the ability, check this out. So I've shot like 5 mags, at least 5 or 6 today already, and we've gone from 250 down to 200. So insane shot count on this low power tune. Very handy, very worthwhile upgrade. Up the front we've got a Crafton lift extended rail to put the nice little Vipertech CT1 a bit further out the front. Now Vipertech is a bit of a strange one. Like, you don't really hear much from them marketing wise, but I'm very happy with this product. I didn't pay for it. Herman Sporting Guns sent it to me, so if you want one, talk to them. They'll sell you one. They are very nice. I'm very happy with it. Carbon fibre, nice and light, multi-position, extendable legs, and very solid, very well made. As far as ballistics goes, I've got my Kestrel, and my little SIG 1250 behind it, so I can do range and weather. It also does ballistics as well. It just doesn't have the right ballistic coefficient for pellets. And of course my smartphone with Strelok Pro. We're running JSB King 25s, as I said before. Last but not least, the glorious Calm magazines. Love these things. Nice and reliable, easy to load, little ratchet clicker on it. If you are not the biggest fan of the side shot type magazines, these are your next best option. These are excellent, well priced, well made. And Darko, he's got a good mind for business. He's a very service orientated bloke. So if you have any questions, hit him up. I'll put all of the details for all of this stuff in the description below. One of my viewers asked me, sorry I forgot your name bro, but what it's like to shoot the Impact left-handed. Now I'm right-handed, so obviously I'm going to suck left-handed. So that's why we're going to shoot steel instead of paper. But yeah, not too bad. I think if you buy the right aftermarket accessories, it's very viable. You can get a dual-sided cocking block from Sabre Tactical, which will allow you to put the cocking handle on the other side if you want to do that. And I was just looking at it then, and it looks like you could just have, because there's lots of people that do 3D printed products for the Impact, like 3D printed magazines and different cheek pieces and stuff like that. So you could probably have someone make you up a left-handed cheek piece, or make it yourself. Wouldn't be difficult. It's a very simple piece. It's like just a one-piece type thing, and maybe even a left-handed magazine. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I can't see it being super difficult to just put the magazine recess that fits around the chamber on the other side of the magazine, so it sits on the other side of the gun. So I don't know, something for you to think about. Maybe hit up Darko and see if he can print you out a left-handed magazine and see how that goes. So what have we learned through today's plinking? I like the low pressure. I think I like just with the power plenum upgrades that we've got now, and 700mm barrels and all the flexibility that's on offer, you can shoot really low quiet speeds on a high reg pressure if you want to also have that meaty top end. But if you really do want to maximize how quiet it is, I think you can get it quieter with a lower reg pressure and a lower hammer spring than you can with a high reg pressure with a low hammer spring and a tighter valve. So this has a different sound. It's more of a slap than a crack. It doesn't really sound so much like a firearm as it does when it's on a really high pressure reg tune. So that's something to think about. Changing the signature of the actual sound I think is important as well. So, and the shot count. The shot count is ridiculous. So I'm pretty much done for the day for my plinking part of today. I may do a hunt later on, I'm not sure. Don't think I'll have time, unfortunately, but I definitely don't have to refill the gun. I reckon I could come down here and sort of do a practice shoot every afternoon until next weekend and still not have to fill the gun. So that's a good thing. It's definitely a plus. And the JSB King 25s, compared to the King Heavy Mark IIs, I think they perform admirably. I'm going to enjoy using all 5 tins of them, I think. And I think they might even be a better choice for low power shooting. Similar results at 50 meters. I didn't shoot much better than this with them in similar conditions. So they're pretty much on par, and it remains to be seen how they perform for me in my gun, in my conditions at my place at 100 meters. I'll do that another day, I think. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I think they're a good option as well. They seem to be working just fine out to 50 meters. I wouldn't really expect much more than between half an inch to an inch at 50 meters with me behind the wheel. Your mileage may vary, but my skill level sort of dictates that that's how big the groups are going to get. That doesn't really get much better than that for me. They perform quite well at low speed through a slug liner, so that's good to know. If you are shooting slugs and you do want to tone it down a bit and use something a little bit less bangy that doesn't go through stuff quite like a slug will, you'll be able to run your pellets through your slug liner, no worries. Well, these ones at least anyway, so good times. Well, I think that's us for the day. I have to go and get ready to go back to work, but thank you for watching. If you like the video, gently smash that like button, subscribe. I've got a fair few viewers that aren't subscribed, so if you made it this far, please hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot, and we'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta.